Board. This is the May 2024 work session of the Mayor and City Council for the City of Frostburg. Roll call when you're ready, Elizabeth.
Commissioner Donnie Carter.
Here.
Commissioner Nina Forsythe.
Here.
Commissioner Kevin Grove.
Here.
Commissioner Adam Ritchie.
Here.
And Mayor Robert Flanagan.
Here.
Okay, the first item we have to discuss with you tonight is the budget. Elaine has presented this to you in the past, but she'll talk to you a little bit about it again here tonight. No major changes since last month, but the public hearing, as required, will be next Tuesday, and that's been advertised.
Yeah, so we have not made any changes. The budget ordinance and the fee schedule that we discussed last month would be presented in its entirety once again at your council meeting next week. We'll have a public hearing and then the vote. So if you have any recommended changes that you've not brought to my attention sooner, please let me know so we can prepare those revisions. But otherwise, the budget as we discussed last month.
Now, on my way down here, I was thinking about the budget and how, you know, most of our budgetary money, other than like grants and stuff, comes from city taxes, and it's the people's money, and the reason we're spending it is for the people. And I really like the way that you and the rest of the staff are conscientious about getting the best quality without overcharging, and that balance is, you know, it just seems like y'all really work very well to serve, you know, city residents in the most fiscally responsible way, you know, also forward thinking, not just the cheapest thing now, but, you know, planning for the future. So congratulations.
Kudos, folks.
Well, thank you.
How's that now?
We are, you know, a lot of, you know, the state and the county, it's been very public that they've faced their fiscal challenges this current year. So it feels really good to come to you with a balanced budget that will continue operations as normal without any cuts or any increases in taxes. So continuing to provide as best of level of service as we can.
Yes. Very good work. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right.
Next, Lydia and Hayden, I guess we'll talk about that they have to have a public hearing as required to apply to CDBG. So they want to chat about their intentions for that application.
Yeah, basically just for the sake of submitting the application for the CDBG funding, which is everything we talked about at PACE this year, we have to do a public hearing about it. So it's almost just an identical copy of what we talked about at PACE. It would be the North Grant and Center Extended projects, both just fairly small postage stamp sized sewer separation projects. The typical ones we do, we would, if we have to get in there and move a water line, we will do that. There will be some sidewalks and some pavement that gets done because of it. But ultimately, this CSO project, both of them separate, will benefit all of Frostburg. So it benefits all of the different socioeconomic backgrounds in Frostburg, because what starts at one end of the town creeps down to the other. So it's kind of a boon for everybody involved, because it keeps our sewage treatment costs down for what Cumberland bills the county for and the county bills us for. Everything ultimately makes its way to Wrights Crossing or to over the edge of the hill there through Eckerd. So what we can reduce ends up saving everyone in Frostburg money. So I don't know if there's anything you want to add about it.
Just in addition to the public hearing, we'll need a resolution of your support for our application of up to the $800,000 allowance.
And I'll give sort of a brief, quick snippet, sort of like I just did there next week.
Okay. All right, very good.
The North Grand, are we gonna get rid of all the stone off there? Pave all that? Good.
Yeah. We're gonna have to. So.
I want to be there when they're paving it, because I want to see that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
tie it off to something.
Yeah, we actually, Ray and I were talking about that we have to make we're gonna have to do some elevation work, but we're gonna make it work. So yeah, I'm excited to get that one done. So,
Those cobblestones provided traction or brick,
Yeah.
whatever it was. Now it's just going to be like,
Are you gonna salvage the cobble?
probably, yeah. I mean, we have a place to put them, which we should, up behind the water treatment plant.
Yeah.
Because we end up using a lot of that stuff for, in different places around town for the artistic curbstones that we have to put back in certain places. So we end up looking for those at least once a year.
Oh, yeah,
So it'd be
good.
nice to have some.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Questions? Good, okay. And if you need to take off, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
They're good kids.
Okay.
Sorry, I have like really the wrong thing up right now. I'm a year behind times. I don't know how that happened, but, okay. The Elks submitted their annual, request to repeal the open container law for Derby Day. They're planning on having Derby Day on Thursday, July 4th, not Saturday. Thursday, July 4th, but then the rain date would be Saturday, July 6th. So, if there's any concerns with that, Commissioner,
Nope.
Chief?
It's all worked out in the past.
Okay, so that would be a resolution at your council meeting as well. Lydia's with us tonight to talk about ARPA. We're winding down. We're at just over 7 months to obligate all of the $8.4 million that the city has received in ARPA funding. And there's a project Lydia wants to talk to you about and just kind of go over where things lie and kind of our plan moving forward. So I'll turn it over to Lydia and then.
So I passed around where we're at with the funding. Everything in the orange on the top right is not obligated. They're just for general projects. So anything that came up with public works, the sewer. My recommendation would be to kind of stop with the spending in that category to see where the gateway comes in, and then we have things planned for purchases, capital purchases that we could make to use that money, but maybe just wait off until we hear about the gateway. So that equals that 460 amount. Currently, what we haven't earmarked for anything is the 354,000. So we have around 814,000 not obligated to any projects currently. So the one I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the playground equipment at Glendening. It was installed in 2003, whenever the rec complex was being worked on. The structure then was $113,000. We applied for POS and Community Parks and Playground funding for the cost of the playground. We didn't get the Community Parks and Playground funding. We did receive POS funding, but we had to reallocate a portion of that we were going to use for the playground for the pickleball courts whenever we decided to move forward with that. So we talked with Brandon with Game Time. They have a grant program that'll match 50% or 100%, whatever we put in for playground equipment. That's in September, and he's just looking for a budget to kind of start working with a design for that playground. He estimated that, well, I guess with that and considering the installation cost, we're looking at needing $200,000 since we didn't get the CPP funding. We've already removed the 2 to 5 year old play area because it's deteriorated. We've removed several slides and stairways on the larger, and the 200 would get us equivalent to what we have with keeping the swing set. So just looking to see if you guys had any other questions or
Yeah, another thing, the restrooms are not in great shape up there either.
Up by the playground.
Yes.
So I did fail to mention that. I did talk to Commissioner Ritchie about the restrooms. I went up, took some pictures, did an estimate. To update them, it costs about $7,000, and I think that the $200,000 ARPA, we would be able to allocate some of the POS money that we had towards the playground if we got 200 of the ARPA.
Playground equipment is very expensive.
Oh, man.
The the lucrative state funding years seem to be not there in the near future at least. And I think Glendening, that playground in particular, is probably the most popular playground in town. Having that age children, I am fielding a lot of questions. What happened to the little play? You know. So I think Brian has a sign up there saying improvements are coming, and did a Facebook post. But it does seem like a lot of money. You can buy a lot for $200,000,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of liability that the playground companies have to insure, and safety measures and so forth and so on. So we felt this was a good investment of the ARPA money, and just is something that a lot of your residents care about.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a lot of good use out
There's
of it.
always a lot of kids up there, you
Yeah.
know, all the time. It's well used.
And get the bathrooms dressed up and get some new playground stuff, and it'd be very nice. Very nice.
Any other questions?
Okay, so that would be a resolution then to allocate that money, or allocate funding to the playground equipment. Obviously, it wouldn't be the bid award yet, but there, we would just take care of that ARPA resolution. Something.
What all needs to be done to the bathroom?
In particular, the partitions are rusted, so that's, we just did a restroom that's about $3,200 for partitions. The toilets are alright, we need new urinals, faucets, soap dispensers, $350 for paint, floor sealant. The door frame, restroom signs, I have a category for miscellaneous, but one of the big expenses is those bathrooms are on a mag lock, and someone tried to pry open one of the doors whenever it was after it was locked, and it bent the frame. So that's about $1,500 to $1,800 just to replace the one door.
Yeah, you can see the damage on it.
But the ceiling was updated in the last 2 years, and there's new LED light fixtures, and I think we'll be able to use all the toilets. So I think $7,000 would cover up with us doing the installation.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Another one, so we have the salt facility ad alternate, and that was, we have the number on that because that was part of the bid. Not ready to make a recommendation to move forward with that or not. Something the fire department came to us with a couple months ago, and just wanted to put it on your radar. I told them, again, this would be something that we would wait till we had a clearer picture of these bigger projects and other needs of the city, is replacing their change copy sign at the fire department with an electronic LED changeable electronic messaging center is what we call them. And then they said, if the city would fund that, the city would have access. So if there was an emergency, we could kind of overtake it and put messages out on it as well. But then, it could be a revenue source for them like they had in the past. Just managing that change copy sign is kind of a lot.
Yeah, they had already also said that we could put our events, if the city was having an event,
Sure.
that we could use that sign and advertise that event.
Good.
So yeah, they've gotten some basic information on that and talked about it. So that's a potential project. There's some big ticket items that if by some miracle that gateway project, the roundabout project comes in as expected and within the grant funding, we could use a new street sweeper. That's probably $150,000 right there. So there's a lot of things that I know the outside departments have identified as wants, not needs, but it could be a good way to upgrade equipment that we have or get new equipment that we don't have to make sure we're taking advantage of spending every last one of those dollars. So, but
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
kind of holding tight a little bit. I mean, it was really good news where the parking lot construction came in at, but the gateway is kind of still what has me nervous. I'd hate to be $300,000 short and just blown $300,000 on a new plow truck, or, something,
yeah.
not blown, but
Yeah,
that'd be hard,
Hold that back as long as we can.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and as long as it's ordered, obligated, by December 31st, we're okay, so,
We should have a clear picture by then.
yes.
I did want to add that the grant for the playground is in September, so if we wouldn't end up needing all of that, we would know by September, so we can reallocate. And then all the projects that I removed from the top of the list and represented as completed projects amount, they're all on the city website under administration, if you'd like to read the synopsis of what we've done.
Okay.
well, those ARPA grants certainly have come in handy. They've really helped a lot.
Immensely,
Yeah.
once in a lifetime. There's a few other things that I just wanted to touch base on. Many thanks to Lydia for doing, I've told some of the team here that sometimes it's the smallest projects that are the hardest projects. And the church sign at the intersection of 36 and 40, Lydia did the large part of the coordination with the churches as well as the sign company. I got an immense positive feedback on Facebook, and it looks good.
Yeah,
So
it looks
thank
good.
you, Lydia. Congratulations to everyone, but the city won the Maryland Rural Water System of the Year award last week at the Maryland Rural Water Conference, and some of us were on the front page of the paper, so it was good press, but I think more importantly, just the recognition for what the city's done over the past 30 to 40 years with building the water system, and then supporting our neighbors to the south in their time of need, so,
Plus the gold,
yeah.
I don't know if it's an award, but the optimism, you know what it's called.
Yeah, there's that word, but we've met all three metrics that the EPA wants us to achieve in terms of source water protection of our surface water. So taking measures to eliminate the presence of cryptosporidium in our water supply. So we were only one of 4 rural jurisdictions in Maryland to receive that. So
You did good.
Pretty good.
Did good.
we did not win the Taste of the Tap award, which means we have the best tasting water, but we're competing with well water communities. Like, it's not apples to apples.
Just tastes very.
And then lastly, between right now and next Tuesday, we're going to be migrating to new online meeting software, so we will no longer be using this iCompass product. We're actually migrating to the Civic Plus product, so it will be better integrated with our website. And the live stream, people will have to go directly to the YouTube page to find the live stream. That'll be probably the biggest change, but this is about a 50% cost savings in annual subscription. So between the cost savings and the better integration with the website, we thought it was the most prudent move. So Jamie on Bethany's staff has kind of taken the lead with Bethany and I doing a little bit. But many thanks to Jamie for leading that, and so we'll be getting everything switched over. And so going forward, for people looking for the meeting, if they would have this iCompass, the Frostburg City, frostburgcity.civic web bookmarked, they would just need to go to frostburgcity.org and then go to the meetings there. So it'll be more similar to like the counties and Cumberland's meeting software.
Okay.
So, but hopefully, and your agenda will look different in terms of font and layout, but the content will remain the same. So, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that. That's all I have, but I'd like to turn it over to you all to answer or address anything of concern.
you all very much. Have a good evening.
You too?